This is the Ottawa Senators Outlook. Here is your host, Jack Henry.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Ottawa Senators Outlook. I'm your host Jack. This is my recap reaction to the Flyers game, so let's go right to it. So the Senators come away with a 4-3 victory in overtime. So let's go right to it. So in the first period, nothing happened, so after 20 minutes, it is still a scoreless game. In the second period, Nick Delorier scores to make it 1-0 Philly, but then Tim Stützle scores to tie it up at 1, but then Noah Cates scores to make it 2-1 Philly, so that's all you get after the second period. So with 20 minutes remaining, the Flyers are up 2-1. However, in the third period, Fabian Zetterlund scores his second goal as a Senator to tie it up at 2, and then Garnet Hathaway will also score to make it 3-2 Philly. But then with like 7 minutes left, Thomas Chabot ties the game at 3 apiece, and then we head to overtime. And then Tim Stützle on the power play to make it 4-3. That's our final score. So Tim Stützle was in pretty much a cold slump. He really hasn't been producing over the last few games. However, he gets 2 goals in this one, and just a big win for the Senators here. So the goaltending matchup was Ivan Fedotov and Anton Forsberg. Forsberg stopped 29 of 32 for a .906 save percentage, and Ivan Fedotov stopping 21 of 25 for an .840 save percentage. That's pretty much been a common theme for the Philadelphia Flyers. They've had awful goaltending, and I'll just read their point total to you. Philly, with the overtime loss, is now 33, 37, and 10. They have a total of 76 points. I mean, that speaks for itself with how awful the goaltending was for the Senators. I think the Senators had like 78 points or something like that last year with awful goaltending. I think Philly has shown flashes of having a decent team, especially for the rebuild. I think they're going to look really, really nice. But they just really got to get that goaltending better. That's really what it comes down to. And with the win, the Senators are now 44, 30, and 6, and they have a total of 94 points. With this win, the Senators are now locked into that first wildcard spot. As I said in the recap for the Montreal Canadiens game, they pretty much have it all but locked up. But now with this win, they are officially the first wild card in the Eastern Conference for the Stanley Cup playoffs. And at this point, the only really movement they can do is maybe get third place in that division and take down Florida. But in order to do that, the Senators would have to win out against the Blackhawks and the Hurricanes. I mean, that's going to be pretty tough, obviously, with that Hurricanes game. And you're going to have to hope that Florida loses out in regulation for both of those games. They have the Rangers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. So that's going to be an uphill battle at this point. Anything's possible, but I wouldn't expect it. And besides, the Toronto Maple Leafs are 4 points up on the Tampa Bay Lightning with 2 games remaining. What Toronto would need to do is just get a point in one of their 2 games. They play the Buffalo Sabres and the Detroit Red Wings. Realistically, they should win both of those games. But if they do beat the Sabres, I wouldn't expect them to play like their stars against the Red Wings. I would probably give them rest if I were Craig Berube. So at this point, I think we are finally expecting what I think a lot of us have been hoping for, and that is a Battle of Ontario first-round playoff series. So I really do think that's where we're headed. We'll also get the Battle of Florida as well through the Atlantic, so that's going to be pretty interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. With this win, I do want to point this out. The Ottawa Senators have tied their record of 44 wins that they had in 2016-17. With one more win on the year, the Senators will win at least 45 games for the first time since 2007 when they went to the Stanley Cup Finals. So just think about that for a minute. For 17-18 seasons, the Senators have won 44 games at most, and with one more win this year, and it's very possible, that could be snapped. So just a little fun fact that I wanted to throw out to all of you. But again, another big win for the Senators here. So 44, 30, and 6 is where we're sitting right now, in a very comfortable position, 4th in the Atlantic Division, and sitting with the first wild card. So that's really all I got to say here. Probably at some point on Tuesday, I will have a preview for the Blackhawks game. They do have a game against the Montreal Canadiens, so there's a very good chance that the Montreal Canadiens can clinch their playoff spot in that game against Chicago, and that would eliminate Columbus and fill that final wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and that will go to Montreal. So anyways, give me your thoughts on this game. I will see you for the preview for the Blackhawks game. Like and subscribe, but for now, this is Jack from the Senators Outlook, and go Sens go.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Ottawa Senators Outlook. For more of this podcast, click on the videos on the left and subscribe by clicking on the icon on the right. Thank you.